Okay. Welcome everybody to another beautiful Tuesday morning and another beautiful edition of Snooze Button, Run Button's weekly morning live show where we talk about things and then we play things, and it's Tuesday and Keith is here and I'm Kylie Theodora. Hi Keith.
Hi, what a beautiful thing that this is.
Wow, it's a day of beauty. Hi, welcome to this day of beauty that I prepared for you. How are you?
I'm pretty good. I went to bed at a normal time and I woke up at a normal time, and so I feel normal.
Wow.
And that is unusual for me.
Damn,
and I feel good.
We stan a normal feeling king.
Yeah, feel very normal today, so that's excellent. I was feeling
nowadays. This is the kind of thing that's impressive to us now. Wow. Yeah. Keith feels normal today. Look at him go.
Extremely regular.
All right. Love it. Did we tweet about this, actually?
I don't know. You are streaming, so that's on you.
Gotcha. Well, I guess we did tweet
about it an hour ago.
We did tweet about it then. So, but just you tell me more about how you're doing today. Just keep talking about what
you
you're
sort
thinking.
of were like, on Sunday, you were like, you ready for Snooze Button tomorrow? And I was like, no, I'm not, because I'm planning on feeling like shit on Monday. So how about let's do it on Tuesday?
Yes.
And I was right. I did feel like shit yesterday, and today I feel great.
Great. Yeah, that's another thing to bring up. Last time, 2 weeks ago, we said, hey, we're changing the day we're doing Snooze Button on. And then we did for one week, for one crazy week weeks. We did on Monday. Nope.
Just one.
Now we're back.
Oh, is it because we missed a week? Because you were like on last Monday, you were like, I forgot that we do this on Monday. I know last week I said, hey, can we do this on Monday?
What?
But I forgot.
No.
I'm just gonna edit today instead. Yeah, you literally did.
What? No, it was No.
I have it in a text.
Okay. Well, you definitely were the first one to forget. Because remember, you literally had to wake up. Like, you got 90 minutes of sleep when we did it on Monday that one time because you forgot.
On the first time that we did it on Monday, I forgot, but then woke up late and made it to the show. But then on the second week, you forgot, and we're just like, let's just trash the whole thing, and I'll edit Silent Hill today instead.
Hang on.
This is definitely real. This would be a really weird memory for me to invent.
Okay, all right, here's the thing, is like, I remember, I think, it was because I was at your house, like, I left your house Sunday morning, yeah. I don't know how, quick check-in, everybody. How are we feeling about this whole Monday thing? It feels weird to me.
Can I read you 2 things from Monday, October 5th?
Gosh, I don't know why you would have to, but I suppose you can if you want to.
10 a.m. Oh, shit. We're supposed to do Snooze Button. 2 minutes later. Executive decision. Snooze Button is canceled, and I'm just going to edit Silent Hill.
I don't remember that. That sounds like somebody else sent text messages from my phone.
Probably would be happier with the new Silent Hill, and I'm sleepy.
I'm sleepy. Also, you're leaving out the part that I sent this at 10. You didn't respond till like 1, right? Like, you also slept past 11.
I saw your text. I just didn't respond to it. And there's no way you can prove otherwise.
I guess there literally is no way I can prove otherwise since you never respond to any of my texts. Hey,
No,
by the
I
way,
responded to you at 11:30.
I should do like a weekly should do a weekly roundup of all my texts Keith didn't respond to in the past week, and then I can get responses to them.
I respond. I just usually wait a day, or like five hours to a day.
Here's well, I didn't add. This isn't a text, but did you get my did you get my package? Did you get my
I was actually
package?
going to ask you about this. Did you send a universal remote to me?
What makes you think that it's a universal remote? Could be anything, unless you opened it.
I mean,
Did
yeah,
you open
I
mail
it.
with you opened mail with my name on it?
It actually had my name on it, so
Oh, okay, I did that on purpose.
yeah. So I opened it. I didn't. I didn't open someone else's mail. I opened mail with my name on it, and it was a remote. And I was like, "This isn't the remote that I ordered." And then I was like, "Oh," and also I was like, "Wait, I just ordered that yesterday."
Damn it! We both. Ah!
I told you I was gonna do it.
Fuck! We've had a remote in Keith, or TV in Keith's room that. I mean, I guess for a while it didn't have a remote, then I supplied a remote, then I took it away or whatever. But the fact that we've had that TV with no remote for like 5 years and never ordered a remote, and then we both ordered a remote on the same day.
Don't pass this off as some insane coincidence, because you asked me to order one, and I said, like, okay. First, I got mad at you for taking back your remote, and then I said, fine, whatever, I'll order a remote. And then when you had your pizza, I was like, look, I'm about to buy a remote for the TV and an XLR cable for your microphone. Just give me a slice of your pizza. And you said, okay. So I was penciled in as ordering a remote.
First of all, I would like to, for the record, the remote that I took back, I'm using that TV right this moment.
No,
I needed that
right.
TV today. I was using it. It's mine. I own it.
I have to put it on the record. It's your remote. You supplied it to the TV, but between the time where you took it back and the time where it started being useful to you again was such a long period of time that you forgot that you even took it back from me.
That is true. And we've been over this, but let me remind you that when I supplied that remote like 4 years ago, it was under the auspices that you would buy a universal remote to replace it, and that never happened. And that is what I would like to bring up is you're all like, oh, Kylie, I said that I would order a remote, and Kylie just assumed that I wasn't going to do it. Well, that's because you didn't do it the other 25 times you said you would buy one, so why would I believe you this time?
Well, but now we don't have one.
Okay. Well, I guess I have a universal remote. It's purple.
No, I canceled my order because I had ordered it last night.
Perfect. So I guess there's no problem then.
No, there's no problem. Except that I was confused. I was like, is this the one that I ordered? Did it get here extremely fast? What is happening? This had my name on it, and then I was like, oh, Kylie probably sent this here.
Yeah, I did it.
I figured it out, but it was like 30 minutes of minor confusion.
I understand. I'm so sorry. Mark Anslow in the YouTube chat would like to know. They say, "Hey, folks, love the content. When's the next Metal Gear out?"
When is that?
I don't know. We don't have it recorded, I guess.
Soon. So then we'll record it soon, and then we'll have it out soon.
Are we gonna try to do that hour of thing? We could do an hour of Metal Gear.
We could do an hour of Metal Gear.
Metal Gear is a game where you could get stuff done in an hour.
Yeah, if you're good.
And I am.
We've sometimes seen that
and
to be
I
true.
am.
That has been occasionally true. If there's a boss fight, no. It will take you longer than an hour to do one boss fight.
That's been our pattern so far through Metal Gear. It's like not really getting hung up on anything except the boss fights.
What have you been up to, Kylie?
I surprised everyone with how fast I got through that Vulcan Raven fight. Don't even play.
Vulcan Raven. Oh, with the tank?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was fast. I actually forgot that one was a boss fight.
There you go. Truth comes out.
But that was the first boss fight, right? That's like 30 minutes into the game.
No, that was
No?
second boss. First one was good old Revolver Ocelot.
Oh yeah, that one sucked.
In his
That was so
Colt
boring.
single
and tough
action
to watch.
army, the greatest handgun ever made.
Is that something that he explains to you?
Colt single action army, the greatest handgun ever made.
Yeah, I was like, that's not something that Kylie would say unless someone said it to her. And probably it was Revolver Ocelot.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about Revolver Ocelot. I'm not gonna call the Colt single action army the greatest handgun ever made. Only if Revolver Ocelot said that. Because obviously, I think the greatest handgun ever made is the
Deagle.
Yeah.
You're a big Deagle fan.
Yeah, I love a Deagle.
You get so many headshots in COD 4 with a Deagle.
You know what? A lot of people go for the Desert Eagle. I think it's a little played out. I prefer the Swamp Eagle or Sweagle. This is my preferred
one of the
bird
fun
of
things
prey
about
handgun.
One of the fun things about video games, I think, is that they get you all in your head about like how strong a gun is, when in real life it's like, it's a gun, it kills you. All of the guns kill you. So you talk about
which ones are better than other ones,
right? Like you'll play Call of Duty or something, and
they all have 100% killing power.
Yeah, a pistol in that game, unless it's the Desert Eagle, is so weak that it's essentially useless.
Yeah, it's your backup. Like
it's worse than a backup. If you find another gun, you'll drop your backup for that other gun as a backup.
Yeah.
Well,
that's what backup is. Right? Backup is something that's not good enough to be the primary thing.
It's right. But like in reality, like handguns are like pretty much the most deadly. They're the most deadly kind of gun. In America, at least, like more people die from handguns than anything else.
Oh yeah, like most deadly, as in does the most killing.
Right, because it's so easy to kill someone with a handgun,
and they're small and common.
Yeah. Anyway, just video games are crazy sometimes.
Just gun stuff. Hey everybody, just here to talk about gun stuff.
Yeah, welcome back to Just Gun Stuff.
Welcome back to Gun Button.
I've been playing a game.
Oh, I've been playing games too. But you tell me what game you've been playing.
I've been playing Genshin Impact.
Oh,
I believe you've both been playing this.
Yeah, I mean, I would say I dabbled in Genshin. If you wanted to taste something and you were like an annoying professional about it and you would taste it and go, I did a little bit of that. I just went on Genshin Impact. So I didn't really get a lot, but I just got some of the little flavor. And can I say real quick is
yes,
I'm not here to comment on all of the flavor I got, but I would just like to throw my hat into the ring for holy shit, fuck everything about Paimon. I can barely even stand to listen to that character speak to me. Jesus Christ.
Okay. And now, see, this is what I'm talking. I've heard this a lot. Not only, I feel like this character is in every third anime.
And I hate it. I hate it every time, and this is the worst it's ever been, and I'm incensed.
This is such a common character that I recognize that voice actor. She's done that same voice in other anime before.
Listen,
I just don't.
Let me put it this way. I put out a tweet complaining about Paimon, and one of my friends was like, "No, she's cute." And then the way I responded was so aggressive and negative, they just deleted their tweet and moved on. Like, that seems like a you problem. Upset. It's fucking creepy, dude. It's so gross. She speaks in the third person like she's a fucking baby. Why does everybody want these infantilized, oversexed girls in their anime? It's gross.
I would not call this character oversexed.
She's oversexed for a child. Look at her outfit.
I haven't really seen her outfit. I mean, she's
it's not oversexed. I've been consuming a lot of anime recently, and I guess it's just front of my mind or whatever. I hate it.
I just feel like this is a character that looks and talks like a baby to me. Like, that's just what this character is. I mean, I don't like it. I do not prefer this. But it's just I'm just surprised at how much and how aggressive the Paimon hate has been, considering this character is in everything. The same voice actor is in everything. Why? I just don't understand why it's an issue now and for this.
Well, I think it's probably one because the game is like a Breath of the Wild clone, and I feel like that kind of character is pretty anti Breath of the Wild in general. Like it hadn't really occurred to me till just now, but it
mean
is.
A character that talks a lot?
Yeah, a character that talks a lot, like aggressively anime. Like over. I mean, the whole thing is like extremely like. I think what was getting to me about it is like. The style in general of Genshin Impact is like this extremely modern, like moe brain rot has infected all of anime kind of style to it, and I just really don't like that style. It's just like everything is like it's like so everything is so cute and sweet and bright, and like it's like the whole thing's been polished to this like anime mirror shine that is like pretty off-putting to me.
Wait, sorry. Say that again about the mirror shine. What?
I think like the particular flavor of its anime influence is like this very modern like moe influenced kind of thing that really rubs me the wrong way.
That's a word that I've seen before, but I don't know what it means. Moe.
It's basically like
that as
like
aesthetic.
that. It's like the Paimon thing and the whole genre of like cute girls being adorable and innocent and doing nothing anime genre, like what I was talking about last time. Like,
what you were
Moe.
effusive about last week. You're now over it?
I liked this one moe show from 10 years ago that now, I mean, that's the thing. That show and shows like it went on to ruin everything about anime, but I am enjoying that one show.
So the thing that is like the other thing about, I think that gets here's the thing about Paimon. I have 90 minutes of stuff to talk about this show, and literally nothing of it has to do, game, and literally nothing about what I have to say includes Paimon at all.
All right. And we can move on. I just want to put Slayer in the chat reminds me of one thing about Paimon I forgot about. Not only do they respond in not only do they speak in third person, they replace all the L's and R's with W's. So like wee.
I do not think that's true.
Oh, nope, sorry. I misread their thing. They were talking about a different character. My bad.
Okay. This is a character that I haven't met or even have heard of. So
I apologize. No, not
even
in Genshin Impact. Nope, fuck me. Never mind.
Okay. If that were the case, I may have stopped playing the game.
Okay, so you admit that there's something.
Well, but here's the thing. This is what I was about to say, is that the game is front-loaded with Paimon dialogue because your character doesn't talk. And so all of the information that you're getting is coming from Paimon. And then the more characters are in the game, the less occasion Paimon has to talk.
Oh, the other characters talk?
Every other character talks besides your character.
Oh.
There's a whole story. It's
my
like
character
a full...
does talk, though.
No. Your character will stop talking and never talk.
Oh, okay. Well, then I went to Twitter and was like, does Paimon stop talking? And someone was like, no, Paimon never stops talking. So that also...
That's a lie. Okay. Paimon extremely stops talking.
Gotcha. All right.
And not only that, so the thing about the game is that there's more game than there is story, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So...
Oh, Breath of the Wild.
No. Worse than that. Because Breath of the Wild is perfect almost.
I mean, Breath of the Wild had a good story, but it certainly didn't have a lot of it.
No, well, but the thing about this game is that it has a much more traditionally told narrative story that abruptly starts and stops depending on how much grinding you've done in between.
Blah.
So they go, okay, you're done with this section of the story, grind until you're like adventure rank 12, and then the story unlocks again for you. And so what that does, this is really what I wanted to talk about mostly, is that creates a period of boredom where that encourages you to spend money on new characters or on the chance to win new characters. That's like the
Now-
pacing of the game is like spend 6 hours doing story stuff, and then the story says no, you're not high enough level, you can't access this anymore for another 3 adventure ranks, which you get by exploring, which is mostly fine. It's mostly okay. Like, it's just interesting enough for it to not be extremely frustrating, at least for the first like 70% of the grinding, and then it starts to get boring, and then you're like, maybe I should buy some Primo gems.
Paimon have a question.
Yes, Paimon.
Sorry, I wasn't prepared for it. He got me. I'm weak and I'm useless. My question is this: when you say grinding, like when I think about Breath of the Wild and I imagine grinding, I imagine looking for shrines. Is there? I take it there's no shrine equivalent in this game.
There is a shrine equivalent in this game. It's called a domain, but they're few and far between, and they're not the exact kind of grinding. They're more like, imagine something that's in between a shrine and a temple in like other Zelda.
That's a big.
Okay, it's closer to shrine. They're small, quick runs, mostly combat, not usually puzzle. And you don't so the thing, but it's all the other Breath of the Wild stuff. It's like it's exploration grinding, so you're like looking for little world puzzles to solve, looking for chests, beating enemy camps, and unlocking their chests. It's finding like quick travel points. There's like kind of a tower equivalent, but you don't climb, you just find them. And then there's like little mini tower equivalents like scattered around the world.
Right.
And then you get adventure points for all that stuff. For basically everything will give you a little bit of adventure rank points. So really they just like want you to go around the world and find all the stuff.
Yeah.
And I have found that the periods in between when I have access to the story are several hours, like 4 to 6 hours sometimes. And that is any time that I've been like, I should buy a character, I should spend money on this free game. Oh, sorry, we didn't talk about what this game is at all because you launched into your anti-Paimon screed.
Excuse me. Please don't pretend like us forgetting to explain a game before we launch into talking about it. Is that at all new for us, or even new for video game podcasts in general? How dare you?
I was about to talk about what it is, and you interrupted with your Paimon screed.
Hey, Keith.
Yeah.
Can you tell Paimon what Genshin Impact is?
This is it is a linear story fantasy game with Breath of the Wild trappings and anime trappings.
Okay.
Free to play. It is a full free to play single player game with co-op. And it's a gacha game.
It's always online. It's a gacha game. There's so many things to say of what this game is.
Yeah. If somehow you have not heard or don't understand what a gacha game is, it's a game where you use earned in-game currency or spend real currency to unlock basically a roulette wheel that will give you prizes. Like loot boxes. Yeah. It's essentially a loot box game.
I would like to say I feel this isn't important. It's not a big deal. It's just like I think it's weird no one ever says this when I always hear people try to explain what gacha means without mentioning capsule machines. Gacha is just another way to say capsule machine, like the stuff outside the grocery store that you put quarters into and then turn the knob. Right. So it's just like imagine all of your characters and stuff are in one of those. That's what the game is.
Yeah,
you earn quarters. You have to go into the grocery store and work. And you have to clean the aisles, and they'll give you quarters, and you can go back to the machines and get more football logo stickers. Or
the thing that I hear people not saying enough. The words that I hear people not saying enough when they explain what gacha games are is loot boxes. A thing that everyone that plays games understands at this point. They're loot box. It's a loot box. It's a game. It's a game where the primary mechanic of unlocking things is done via loot box.
Yeah, buying loot boxes.
Yeah.
And
which
I should also mention it's free to play. When we say this, it looks, when we say Breath of the Wild, it totally looks, at least on par-ish with like the graphics of that game and stuff. But it is free to play on your iPhone or whatever. So like I tried it on PS4. I tried it on iPhone. It ran better on my iPhone.
Wow, I'm on PC. I think it runs great on my PC.
Yeah, so when I play it again. Here's the other thing. I heard some people say seemed more familiar with this type of game. They were like, come back in a year or two when there's like more content in the game. I was like, I didn't think about that. That game will just get better, right? Well,
the flip side is that my understanding of gacha games, this is the first one that I've played because because
it's the first. My understanding, it seems to be the first gacha game that's actually a game.
No, I don't.
Shots fired at gacha games. Bah, 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 bah.
It's definitely the first one that's like this. Like, it's the first one that looks like a big single player game. Otherwise, as far as I know. But what was I saying? What was I saying?
I don't know. But I'll say that it's so the reason I stopped playing on PS4, twofold. One, the real reason was that there's no crossplay. Like when I play on
there
phone,
is crossplay.
Oh, sorry. There's no
cross save.
There's no cross save. When I play on my phone, my understanding is I can, pick up that game right where I left off on my PC, but you can't do that on PS4. It's totally locked off.
Yeah.
You can't do anything. And the other thing is the control mapping on PS4 is batshit. Your primary attack is on circle. The D-pad is only used as buttons that bring up other sub-menus.
You can't change it.
You cannot remap anything, and you have to use the analog stick for all the menus. It's like, no.
On PC, you can remap, but if you plug in a gamepad, I think you cannot remap the gamepad, even if you're on PC.
I was hoping I really, really like the Steam control remap thing, so I'm hoping that you can do that thing where you like play it through Steam and it gives you the whatevers.
Okay. That's totally possible. I mean, I'm playing it through Steam because it doesn't have a borderless window setting, but you can kind of fake it if you do Steam. If you bypass the launcher to add like the exe to your Steam thing and then add like a minus pop-up window, you can to your launch options, you can make games that don't have borderless windows act like they have a borderless window.
Gotcha. I thought of a tweet, a text that you didn't respond to that I need your response on. That's also relevant to what we're talking about.
Yeah.
I've been playing more Earth Defense Force 5 with my friend, and would you like to get in on that?
Oh yeah, I'll play more Earth Defense Force.
All right, cool. We might even do it maybe later today or tomorrow if you're interested.
Tomorrow, I think I'm busy. Today we're doing Run Button.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm doing today.
I think I've forgotten to mention that I'm getting. You know what? Forget it. I've forgotten to mention it this long. I'll just forget longer. Let's go back to what I was saying. The thing about EDF 5 on PC is it has that same problem. The menus are all analog stick, and the D-pad just opens like your preset chat communication thing.
I don't even know that I know where that is.
Yeah, it's on the arrow keys on the keyboard. And has Run Button seen the two new EDF games? Well, if neither of the two new ones are EDF 4 or 5, I guess not.
What did they have, like an EDF?
I know there was a Wing Diver spinoff, but I don't know if that's what they're talking about.
Huh.
But anyways, so my solution on EDF, since I have it on Steam, is I went into the control mappings and I changed the D-pad on my Xbox controller to act as an analog stick, so I can use the D-pad for menus now. The thing I keep wanting to add, but I never have, because it's always I'm doing it in the moment and my friend is waiting for me, but I really want to add some kind of toggle button that will flip the D-pad back and forth between the chat menu and the just being like a D-pad.
Oh, yeah, I totally agree. Sorry, when I said that I forgot, or I didn't even know there was a chat button, I was still thinking Genshin Impact. I was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. The way that the D-pad works in EDF5 is extremely annoying to me.
Yep.
I think something that I was going to say earlier about Genshin Impact though that I forgot was that it looks worse than Breath of the Wild, I think visually, except for that when you're playing on PC, the draw distance is so far that everything looks really cool because you can see forever.
Oh, cool.
And that's nice. I've come to like appreciate draw distance as like the one thing about like graphical intensity that like where more is just better all the time.
Okay.
Maybe not all the time because like think of something like Silent Hill where some of the draw to that is not having a super high draw distance, but like wow, when you can get into a game and just see no Silent Hill.
Oh, sorry.
But something like Breath of the Wild would hugely benefit from more draw distance, I think. Love to draw distantly.
I love distant drawing.
I love distant drawing. But here's the thing about gacha games. I haven't played one before. This is my first one. And I feel like this game was made assuming that no one would play this game that didn't understand what a gacha game was.
That is definitely the thing. Like gacha game is like it's really big and also like
it's huge,
it's huge and the people that are into it are so into it and I there are some people on my Twitter timeline that are sometimes just put like look at this character I got and I'm just like what is this universe? I don't know what this is.
Well, that's only because you haven't met Venti yet, Kylie.
Can you get so you unlock characters from these gacha pulls.
Yeah.
And my understanding is you don't it's somewhat rare to get a character, but if you buy 10, you're guaranteed to have one character.
No, wrong.
Well, okay. So maybe I just heard. Sorry. Maybe I heard it's likely that you will get one.
You're actually right. I misunderstood what you were saying. The first time you do a 10 pull, they give you a character named Noelle, who is an upskirt maid.
Boo.
If you need an upskirt maid,
I already felt like the main character I'm playing as is an upskirt maid, so I can't even imagine the one that's that on purpose.
I mean, she's literally a maid.
Great.
So that's the way. That's how.
Yes, I got it.
I didn't notice that. I mean, this is a very upskirty game.
It is. It's just,
but my main character is a guy, so I didn't notice that the main character. Didn't even occur to me that you would also get main character upskirt.
Yeah, it was when the first time I swam, and it was just like
Oh right, because you don't have the glider yet.
No, I didn't even know that there was a glider, but
well,
I mean,
Breath of the Wild,
yeah,
so
of course there would be. Yeah.
It's a worse glider than the Breath of the Wild one because it's slower and also more drop to it, I think.
Okay. Remember
that was my impression.
Remember when Foconkel asked if we had seen the two new EDF games? They say one is EDF 6 and the other is like Lego.
Okay.
Lego. They say it's more like 3D dot heroes. 3D dot game heroes. That sounds fun. I would play an EDF game like that, but yeah.
So here's the thing.
My kids would love that.
For Kylie and for anyone else that goes in to play Genshin Impact, which is a game that I think people should try because it's free, but it's not maybe necessarily What's that?
Oh, keep talking. Sorry.
Okay. So if you're gonna be confused, you're gonna be like, I've never played a gacha game before. I don't understand what's going on. You have a thing called, I believe, Genesis crystals. You use Genesis crystals. Are you sharing this on the stream?
I'm
intentionally.
The webpage.
Earth Defense for the
webpage.
Yeah,
look at this. I'm listening, but look at this.
Wow, it do extremely look
3D
like
heroes.
3D
dot game heroes. Yeah.
or Cube World even.
Yeah.
Um, so you got there's a currency called Genesis crystals, and and you use those to create Primo gems, which you then use to buy fates, and the fates are the gotcha pulls. And so you're gonna earn Primo gems by playing the game. You can buy Genesis crystals with real money, turn those into Primo gems, and then those will get turned into fates. There's two kinds of fates.
Okay.
There's
but, yeah.
There's the regular blue one. I think that's called like an avowed fate or something. I don't know. But then there's the intertwined fate. Those are the special ones that you can only do now, so that you can pull from the Venti banner. That's what you're gonna want to do. If you're hearing this and it doesn't make sense, it'll make sense I think once you see it. But the thing that you should know is that they've got currency for you hidden in places where you won't be able to find it.
Oh,
so
okay, good.
You're gonna have mail. Basically, they're like, we're just giving people every day. We're giving them like 160 of these of this currency.
Sure.
Which is enough for a fate. They give you like one fate every day, but it's retroactive. So I joined and had like 2 weeks worth of currency in my mailbox, and you can go in, you can hit claim all, and they just give you a ton of money. So I went in, I was like, they basically gave me 1 free 10 pull, and I was wrong. They actually gave me like 2.5 free 10 pulls. So you do get.
No, keep going.
You do get quite a bit right off the bat, but you're gonna go in, you're gonna see. And sounds insane. This is why they don't explain it to you, because if you try to explain it, it sounds insane. So they just make you feel lost until all of a sudden you understand what's happening.
Yeah, that's what all gacha games are. I was going to say, if anyone's listening to this and like is totally lost and confused and is like, can't I just play a game that doesn't confuse me? What? Congratulations, you're old. That's what getting old feels like, when you're like, yeah, I could learn the new thing, but what if I just did what I already understand?
I will never get old. I will never die. There's two. So you'll see the banners, right? You've got one. There's going to be a maid in a red dress, and there's going to be another one. There's going to be a green anime boy with some side braids, and then there's going to be another one. There's going to be some weapons. This is on the fate screen.
Oh, they really are called Primo gems.
Yeah, there's going to be another one that's like standard, and it's going to have a red-haired guy on it who obviously has fire powers. I mean, you look at him and you go, that's an anime guy with fire powers. There's no mistaking it. And there's going to be a girl with like a white suit on. Those are the different banners. Those all have slightly different ways that they function when you pull characters with them. You're going to want to do the one with the maid first, because that's the one that gives you the maid. And then all the other ones that you do, you should spend your money on the intertwined fates and buy from the Venti banner. It says Venti banner. You're like, what's Venti banner mean? It says it on it. Doesn't matter what it means. You'll figure it out.
I'm so lost. Please,
I think it's important that people hear this.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. It's nonsense.
It's not. It's nonsense, but it's also nonsense that the game doesn't tell you. Part of the thing that you're paying, I think, like it's free to play. Like, what does free to play means? Well, it means it's gonna foster in you the desire to spend money on it. But the other thing that it means is they're not gonna explain to you what the game is. Part of what you're paying is with your sanity. That is part of the cost of this game. So this helps anybody either stay away from the game or figure it out sooner, then you're welcome. The standard banner, the thing that makes it standard is it doesn't have the character Venti in it. Venti is a 5-star character will only come from the Venti character, and that you can only get in the next 10 days, and then you can only buy with intertwined fates. And then once you're out of intertwined fates, you might still have a couple of the regular fates that they just gave you at some point. So check the standard banner and buy some of those.
Now
that's how you play a gacha game.
Thank you. And I'm not upset about anything that you just said, but I do request that we move on to a different topic so that I can speak again.
Okay, I was done. So there you go.
Great.
I don't like that you can't jump attack in this game. You can't attack when you're in the air. That's annoying to me.
It's extremely fucked up. Yeah, what is that? You know, I don't know. So I think the thing that is really interesting about this game right now, other than the fact that, you know, it's like a Breath of the Wild clone and people really like Breath of the Wild, so they're happy about that, is I think it's interesting because it is like one of these first. It's also like it's like a smallish team, isn't it? Is it a small
I don't know.
team?
I mean, this is a company that's been around for a decade.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes. This is not their first game. They've been doing mobile games for about 10 years.
Oh, I thought they were kind of new to it. Never mind then. But
it's actually one of the interesting things about this game is that it's like what if someone told you this is what happened for me. Someone was like, "Hey, just so you know, there is a free to play Breath of the Wild clone on PC and it's already out." Like, yeah. That's kind of a crazy thing to say.
Yeah, it feels so what I'm trying to get at is it's not just that like people are enjoying this game right now, is that it feels very much like this game is like the harbinger of the next paradigm, where it's like, you know, you've had this like gotcha game thing like blowing up for years and years at this point, and then like single player games have also been on the rise, like these big RPGs like Breath of the Wild, and now it is like and we've had like the crossplay thing, you know, bigger games that we used to think of as like console or PC games coming to mobile, and like now it's finally like it's here. This game is free to play, it's gotcha nonsense, it's like totally, or it's almost totally cross-platform, cross-save, it's free to play, it's all this stuff. It feels extremely like this is the next thing. I feel like we're gonna see a lot of games with this type of monetization scheme here, because like it's wild. Like at first I wasn't sure if it was an MMO because it's an always online like server connected single player game.
It feels a lot like playing it. If the thing that tells me that this game isn't an MMO, like the really only hint that you get, besides that there's not other characters running around, is that I like it instead of hating it. I like it, so it can't be an MMO. There's like, tell me if this makes sense to you. There's a kind of game, and MMOs are one of these games where instead of doing an action, you use a skill, and then the character does the action, like. And those games always feel really weird to me. Like you have a game where you press a button and your character swings a sword, and every time you press the button, the sword gets swung, right? And then you've got other games where like you press a button, you press a button, and then you use sword skill.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I think no, I know exactly what you're saying. I'm thinking more like direct action versus indirect action is maybe what I would call it.
And I feel like MMOs are indirect action games.
Yeah, totally. And I think that is specifically because I think that is like an easier type of network traffic for an MMO server to keep track of. Like, you know, like if you had to whack a copper vein like 15 times to mine it, then the server would have to be keeping track of 15 different mouse clicks. But if you just right click on the thing and then it does it automatically, that's like an easier server load thing. I think this is where it comes from.
Well, and then this even gets in. Do you remember you were talking about you were like interested in the game Summer and Mara?
Yeah.
The game you play a girl, she's got a boat. Yeah. And I was like, I didn't really like it. I really wanted to like it. I didn't like it. And one of the things that really bugged me about that game, there's quite a few things that bugged me about that game, but like one of the things that really was stuck in my craw about it. Stuck in my craw?
Yeah.
Okay. You'd chop down a tree to get wood, right? And you'd go up to the tree and you would press E,
Classic.
And E would use your axe, and you would swing your axe 3 times,
Gotcha.
and you know the prerequisite amount of wood would fall out. And I was like, why is this? Why do I have like an MMO use axe action in this game when I could just? They've already got the axe swinging animation. How come I don't just do it once? Like, let me hold it if you want to keep using. I don't know. There's something about that bugs me.
That's interesting.
I don't know.
See, like I'm not like I don't think of myself as a big fan of this type of like indirect action thing, but I'm thinking about it now. Like, I don't know, it sounds convenient to me. One button press to chop down a tree instead of like a bunch.
No, you've got to wait for the 3 axe hit animations to end, and then you've got to do it 3 times to chop down the tree.
You have
so
to
you
do
press
so.
E,
It's 3
and then
buttons.
it's chop, chop.
We're
One wood
talking-
falls out.
All right, so
Yes.
we're talking 9 chopped 3 button presses.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know.
And it's just
I'd have to
annoying.
play the
It's
game.
just like, let me hold the button, or like, and even though, and it's not just having skills, right? Because this Genshin Impact has skills, right? But like, it's like they're hold and release skills,
But
so it
does
feels
it
like
have
you're
ability
doing.
scrolls?
There's no ability scrolls. There are recipe paper pages, which is kind of like a cooking ability.
Yeah, it is.
So I guess in a way there are ability scrolls, because now I know how to make like egg pancakes or something
Okay.
to revive people.
Yeah, we all know that.
But like, this is I think the thing that this game does really well is that they give you these different abilities, and they have different effects based on how you use them. So like the fire character that I've been using a lot, named Bennett, has basically you have your like ultimate attack, and then your like elemental charge attack, right?
Okay. All right. Well, I have a quick interjecting
Sure.
question. I have an interjection.
Bennett's 4 stars. Was that your question? How many stars is Bennett?
No, my question was that when you start the game, it has you name the main character, or main character ? The first character. I don't. Is
Main
Genshin
character.
Impact
Main
a game
character.
without main character?
Yeah,
All right.
no, this is a game with a main character. If you take the Traveler, that's your main character's like canon name. If you take the Traveler out of your party and you run a set of characters that from like all from polls, or the game gives you a couple 3 characters, that character will still show up in cutscenes, like will pop in place of whoever you are.
Yeah, that's lame. Here's my question. I'm not a character namer, so like when I have to name something, I'll usually either just stick with the name it has, or I'll just make it Kylie, usually in a single player game. So it is asking me to name my main character. I name it Kylie, but now's my question. Am I going to have this one character named Kylie and then 35 other characters that all have just names that I didn't make up? Should I restart all of Genshin Impact to just keep it with the standard name? Sounds like
you can change your character's name. So there you go. Problem solved.
What is the character's name?
The character does not have a name.
What?
They are called, because they are a brother and sister, and they are both called the Traveler.
Oh,
As far as the game is concerned, your name is the Traveler.
Oh, I thought I thought I must have deleted its default name, but
no, there is no default name.
Because I thought I heard my character refer to their brother by a name, but maybe the missing twin always has the same name. I don't know. Or whatever.
Maybe, I don't know. There's like an opening cutscene, and I basically forget everything. I remember there's
not
someone
much
shows up
happens.
and steals your sibling, and then you wake up and Paimon is like, "Wow, that's fucked up." Paimon thinks that's fucked up.
Yeah, like whatever. I will commend. I don't like this game for its extremely generic kind of opening thing, especially the way it introduces Paimon, but I do commend it for not wasting my goddamn time with it. Instead, just being like, here's a cutscene, here's literally one image of you meeting Paimon. Now just play the game.
Yeah, go find your sibling has been captured. Fix that.
Fix it.
But here's a Paimon tip that I should have mentioned. Change your dub from English to Chinese or Japanese.
Oh yeah.
Much less grating Paimon voice.
That's a great idea. That's it's a great idea.
Chinese because it's a Chinese game. Japanese because you will recognize some of your faves. From
I'll give it
Japanese voice cast.
I'll try the Chinese. It is a Chinese game.
I like the Chinese. I thought it worked well. I'm back on the English for now. But I've been bouncing back and forth. So.
And listen, I know we talk about this all the time, and I admit it. Yes, I'm turning on Chinese because I won't be able to tell if the voice acting is good or not, and that's what I want.
That's interesting because you said this before, and I don't know if I've had any comment on it before. I think we agree on this that it's like it's harder to tell if voice acting acting in another language is harder. People have different expectations, I think, than their native language.
Here's maybe I want to explain this. Maybe a better way to explain it is to say
I like seeing these two characters are doing really good job voice acting in English. Like this one is bizarrely terrible for no reason. How come this one's terrible? This one's pretty good. This one's pretty good. This one's terrible again. These ones are great. I think that's fun for me.
Oh, but because you like assessing the quality of their English voice acting is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Sure. I guess because if people are like, what? You can't tell if voice acting is good. What do you mean? I just mean that the more you speak a language, the better the more you know about how it sounds, and the more you can tell when it sounds weird and unnatural. So like, since English is my primary language, the only language I'm fluent in, I have a lot of experience in English, and so when I'm listening to English voice acting, I can tell when the voice acting is bad and when it sounds weird, and like, oh, no one would ever speak like that. But I don't know when a Chinese person is speaking the way a Chinese person would never speak because I have no context.
I feel like that's pretty clear. I don't think anybody could possibly take issue with that. I mean, it's like, you don't understand the word. You don't even know what the words they're saying are. How could you say whether they're saying them good or not?
How could I say? How could I know?
And
my roommate Cheryl is on 100-day streak in Duolingo for learning Chinese, so maybe they'll know some of the words. Who could say?
As someone who has been on,
if they talk about water or tea, she'll know.
Yeah, as someone who's been on 100-day streak for learning Chinese.
Oh, really?
Probably no. Probably
yeah,
she won't. No. Yeah, Chinese takes a very long time to learn.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah,
from people who live there.
Yeah, also because it's not a phonetic language. You spend a portion of your time learning it by ear, and then another part of your time learning the characters.
Oh, phonetic meaning like there's no set pronunciation for characters. Essentially.
Right, exactly. There is no tie to a way that something looks and how it's said. You can't difficult. Sound it out.
Oof.
Yeah. And so more than likely, I am not using Duolingo. I'm also slacking on it, but more than likely, your roommate is much better at hearing Chinese than identifying characters, but it still is fucking hard as hell.
So
not that hard. Actually, the grammar is really not that difficult. That's the trick, is that grammatically a lot of Chinese is very similar to English.
That
subject verb. It's very subject verb object.
Yeah, these are kind of like I don't want to like sound like I know anything about Chinese because I don't. But I think I often hear similar things like that. Ooh,
maybe for me from a year ago when I was I was more.
I'm sorry. I was just I glanced at Twitter and I happened to see a Super Mario No Sweater tweet, and isn't that special?
Oh, I saw that earlier. I assume there's only one.
How could there be two? They couldn't possibly be two. It's from Super Mario Facts.
Yeah, I saw that one. Super
Mario Facts, my most questionable continued follow.
Why?
I think it's
because you already know all the facts.
Because I already know all the facts. It's a joke Twitter account, but it is the driest joke Twitter account that I follow. It's basically just that it tweets random text blurbs from a Super Mario wiki, like as if you're learning about Super Mario, but it's always just like the most random shit that like is totally out of context.
Well, it's also wrong. It's also often not true.
I think they are all from. I think it's all true. It's just all nonsense. Like, here's one that just says Mario collecting Toad's pants, and it just says you got Toad's pants, and it's Mario and he's happy about it, but it looks like a real Origami King screenshot. He needs Toad's pants sometimes. I don't know. This Twitter account may be changed. It used to be different. Yeah, this Twitter account may be changed more to entertain people. Because now I'm seeing like it's often a picture and then a description of what the picture shows, which is like not how it used to be. It used to be like much more kind of like just contextless and bizarre. Anyways, so maybe it's time to unfollow Super Mario Facts. Maybe I gotta sad. Anyways, Keith,
what's up?
You haven't asked, but I'm sure if you asked if I had been playing any games, my answer would be like, yeah, I have been.
I don't need to ask because I asked earlier and you said that you had.
Oh, yeah.
Then we talked about Genshin Impact.
Yeah, I thought you had forgotten because you asked me, but
no.
Then we talked about Genshin Impact.
No. What have you been playing?
Zelda games.
Yeah.
I finished Wind Waker.
Anything that isn't a game that I know you've played and know you like and know you've been playing already.
Yes.
And that we've talked about.
Yeah, just let me get to it.
Periodically for a decade online.
Listen, don't be rude.
I'm not being rude. I'm just laying out the facts.
I finished Wind Waker. Here's a real PSA, okay? I finished my second playthrough of Wind Waker HD Collection, or not collection, it's just HD remaster, whatever. And I'm here to say, and not only did I play through it for a second time, Cheryl, my roommate, was playing through regular ass Wind Waker at the same time. So this was often like a side-by-side comparison that I was able to make between these games. And I have to say, the Wind Waker HD remake has a really good reputation, and it shouldn't, because it's bad.
Bad news. You talked about this when we recorded either Silent Hill or Shenmue.
I talked about it a little bit, but I have more to say.
Okay, so before you're talking about how the light bloom, or makes the game look like shit, what else is there to talk about?
That one's obvious. Is the light bloom? It looks nice. They just went way overboard with it. Because if you look at original Wind Waker, everyone remembers it as a very bright, colorful game, and it was, but it was working within the dynamic color space available to the GameCube, which was not tremendous. But the thing about Wind Waker HD is Wind Waker was a game that had a lot of small moments of having to wait like half a second longer than you wanted to. Like I have to watch this animation a lot, and I wish it was a bit quicker. Like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so what I liked initially about Wind Waker HD is that it, like, every animation in the game practically is like sped up by 25%. So like everything just kind of moves faster. Link himself moves faster. It's just like a faster game in general, which sounds great. But after a while, it's like, it starts to get a little weird where like things are happening so fast that it feels like the game isn't allowing me to like it or something. Like,
okay, here's a question.
It feels like it has no confidence in itself. I'm like, Wind Waker, you're like the best game ever made. You're a certified masterpiece. Slow down, buddy. I'm in no rush.
Okay, I have several things to say about this. First of all, what are these animations you're talking about?
So I'm talking about like you can have a little crane come out of your boat, and the crane goes down to the ocean floor to grab a treasure chest and pulls it back up. And like in the original version, let's say it takes 2 seconds for the crane to get to the bottom, and maybe 3 or 4 seconds for it to come back up. And in the original, it's like the crane touches the water and it's already got the chest. And it's like, well, now it looks like
remake?
that. Yeah, in the remake. So now it's like the treasure chest looks like it was 12 inches below the surface of the water. It's like you're ruining the magic of the game in service of not boring me, but I wasn't bored, actually.
But you were bored. You had in your head that these animations took too long.
Not that too long, though. Like, this is what I mean is, like, on the surface, it seems like, ooh, they took this great game and they just tweaked the little bit of it that wasn't that, that could have been tweaked. But in like, fully replaying it and comparing it side by side, it's like, oh, this game, I feel like, went too far. It crossed over into, like, fixing stuff that wasn't broken. There are like 2 dungeons in the game that are like maybe the 2 weaker dungeons of the game. They're not as good as the other ones, but like their solution, they probably had a limited budget. Like their solution to fixing these dungeons supposedly was like lopping off big sections of it or whatever. So it's like you get these dungeons that like aren't the original game dungeons that are like too short and too easy. So it's like, okay, I guess you fixed it by like removing content. It's very weird. It's weird to me. Wind Waker is a masterpiece. Like it had some rough edges, but like it feels like they sanded off the rough edges and then kept sanding.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the question that you've got to try, like, okay.
Oh, sorry. This is my other part of this is like,
okay.
It feels like Wind Waker HD is like trying to address some issues that people might have had with the original. But also, I just feel like modern game tastes are so much more in favor of Wind Waker now than they were back then. Like when I play Wind Waker now, I see a lot of what makes Breath of the Wild great. It's like, ooh, like when they made Breath of the Wild, they were drawing on a lot of what they got right about Wind Waker. And so when I see Wind Waker HD be like, ooh, don't be too mad at me, I'm just a little Wind Waker, see, I'll go quick. It's like, dude, everyone loves this. What are you talking about? Slow down.
I guess
give me that whole dungeon, please.
The thing about HD remakes, and this might be, I can't think right now of a single HD remake I ever played. I'm like trying to think, and Master Chief Collection.
Sorry, SF Gray, the Wind. I don't know if the dungeons. So SF Gray in the chat said, I don't think any dungeons were shortened in Wind Waker HD. I don't know if they were shortened, but Wind Temple definitely and Earth Temple maybe were edited to be much easier. Like they took the couple trickiest parts and instead of like tweaking them a little bit to work better, they just like hit the delete key and then put in something much simpler that like doesn't get you caught, but also like doesn't, just feels like, I don't know. I just feel like I'm missing the game. I'm not gonna play HD anymore.
Okay, but this is part of the thing with HD remakes, I think. Like you're making an HD remake, right? And you've got to go, why are we doing this? And the answer is pretty much because it's your job and you have to. Someone telling you have to make a HD remake, right?
Yeah.
Is that, you follow me?
Yes.
Where did you go? Kylie left, I guess.
I'm back.
What are you doing?
Well, it sounded like you had a bit to say, and I really needed to pee, and my toilet is so close that my headphones don't cut out when I go there, so I figured I would just pee while I listened to what you were saying, and then I'd come back.
Did you come back?
And I think I've done it before, where you don't know that I took a pee break, but this time you asked for my feedback, and I wasn't prepared.
Wow. I mean, you can just say, I've got to go to the bathroom.
But I just thought, but I didn't want to. Okay, you were talking about when it's your job to remake an HD, you got to do it.
You got, right. Most people, most people who are remaking and who are doing an HD remake, the reason that they're doing it is because it's their job to remake something.
Yeah.
It's their job to do video games, and someone's telling them you have to remake this. But then you get there's a point where you get higher up, and I guess there's two things. It could be that you own the property of a game and you love it so much and you just want to bring it to HD to new console.
Oh, there's
it's
tons
money.
Of that. Yeah.
It's money. People are like, let's remake this game so we can sell an HD remake of it, right?
Well, yes.
And so for me, it's like the thing about an HD remake is it will almost necessarily be like, if they're changing any content of the game at all, it will always be to make it easier, to make it to make it frictionless, to take out anything that seems old, to take out anything, to change anything that's like that might cause people to be like, this game. I see why this game was from
old.
forever year. This is old. To make someone be Andy Short about it. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. You're right. You're right. And I don't want to stop you, but even quickly, I'm remembering now. Like, it gets extra frustrating when like I did get stuck a couple times. Like in the HD version, it was like, oh, okay, you couldn't take out this part that I got stuck on. I see how it is.
Because it's like, and then the other thing is, who are they remaking it for? Are they remaking it for a new audience, or are they remaking it for the same audience again? And I think probably a lot of it is like, it's coming from, you're right about the complaints people had about the original. Like, I bet people didn't like I bet people didn't like waiting for the crane to pick up the thing, right?
Oh yeah, sure.
And so they're just like, make it fast. They already know what the game is like when it's regular speed, so let's just make it fast speed so that they can just play the game.
Yeah, like, and that's just what I mean is like, when I said it feels like they increased all animations by 25%, like, I'm like, it almost feels like they might have just done that. Like, they might have just turned some master speed control on the animations up. It also like caused some things to break, but like, yeah, I know what you're getting at. Like, this makes a lot of sense.
I don't want to excuse the game for this.
Yeah.
I'm mostly saying that, like, when you get into an HD remake,
you're just saying like the answer to my question of why did they do this is so that they will sell an HD remake, and I get it.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like this is the cost of an HD remake is $60, and that they will change things to make a more frictionless experience for people who are trying to play a 15-year-old game today, because that's what they think will sell more copies if people go like, oh wow, it's not even annoying like it used to be.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, I agree with that. I would just like the option. Just give me the option of play the old game. Like, even and I'm thinking about like one of the slower parts of original Wind Waker is like, there's like a little fish in each grid of the sea map, and you have to go up to him and throw some bait in the water, and then he'll come up and fill in that square of the map for you. And it was like a little bit slower, and they sped it up in the HD remake, which is nice and convenient, but hey, guess what? It also sometimes fucking breaks the pathfinding on the fish, and sometimes you'll just throw bait into the water and he'll come over and not eat it. And then you put it in again and he swims over again and still doesn't eat it, and actually you just had to move your boat an inch and then it would work again. Like, when things break because they were trying to fix something that didn't need to be fixed that much is very frustrating.
Yeah. I think that like things like this is why I've basically never ended up playing an HD remake. Like, I've played Master Chief Collection, which is what would you call it, a remaster?
Master Chief Collection.
Remaster Chief Collection?
Yeah. Like, those are not remakes.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of a single HD remake I've ever played. And it's and like, I don't know. Like, there's and now, like, and to be clear, I didn't buy, like, I already had Wind Waker HD from when it came out 7 years ago. Yeah.
And boy, wow, when I said to myself, like, oh, I just replayed Wind Waker, and then I went to count and I went, 7 years ago? Could that be right?
Oh, I just thought of something. I know what HD remake I've played.
Oh.
I played and enjoyed for the first time, and this goes to the exact point that we're talking about.
Here it comes.
Ocarina of Time on the DS,
Oh, okay.
3DS. And so like that was different, and a lot of the way that it was different was like making things more convenient, like giving you a metal shoes button on your
the metal. Listen, no one can besmirch the iron boots button. That's pure luxury. But that was like the only thing that they changed. It was like they put an iron boots button and they put signs up in the water temple, and that was like the only thing they changed.
They also gave you quick change buttons for your outfits, for your different outfits.
And I didn't particularly care for this remake because it was just Ocarina of Time again, but that's essentially how to do a remake the right way, right? Is it's just the game again. You
change the two most inconvenient things.
Yeah, the two most obviously inconvenient things, you fix them, and then the game is great. Wind Waker, it's
funny that
it was so close.
Remaking the same series.
Yeah.
It hit and then missed. Oh, and then you were actually complaining a couple weeks ago about the Majora's Mask. 3DS.
Yeah, we were talking about this again. And the Majora's Mask one is one where it's like 95% of it's great, but they made a couple questionable choices and blah, blah, blah. And this is why I think why I said like, oh, I didn't buy this HD remaster recently is because like I'm just done with remakes. Like, or I guess that's not true because I just bought Tony Hawk, but that was different. That was like that's practically a new game almost. But like, I'm at this point, I'm only gonna buy the remakes or the remasters that are like the Tony Hawk one, where it's like a big change in the thing. Because like, like Ocarina of Time, Wind Waker are great examples of a remake or a remaster that doesn't it changes too much for me to play it as though it were the original, but doesn't change enough for me to think of it as a new game. So it's just kind of this middle ground where I'm like, why wouldn't I just go play the original?
Yeah,
to get the true experience.
That sort of thing where it's like, for you, I would just pretty much say like, why wouldn't you? You would have played regular Wind Waker again anyway. If you wanted to play Wind Waker, why not just play the one you already have?
Ooh, well, in this scenario, it was because my roommate was playing my GameCube copy, so I had to play the HD.
But you could have just gotten another GameCube copy.
Well, that would have been pricey, Keith.
Really? Probably only a couple bucks, right?
Oh, I mean, Zelda games hold their value. But Dolphin is out there now. I don't know. The thing is, I think you were asking like, why are people buying? You were posing the rhetorical question: why are people buying a copy of Wind Waker or Wind Waker HD? I think you also have to remember that like, Wii U was the first Nintendo system that didn't play GameCube games. So the idea was like, you could just be buying Wind Waker HD because you want to play Wind Waker and you don't have a GameCube anymore.
Right. That's where I was actually about to go next, too, is like the other group of people that these are for are people who played Wind Waker and liked it and then have not played a GameCube and don't have one anymore in like 15 years.
So here's a...
Just so that everybody knows, by the way, a disc-only copy of Wind Waker on eBay goes for between like $7 and $15, and with a case, it's like $30 to $40.
Yeah, I'm looking at an auction with a box that's up to 14 bids, $43 right now. It's got 1 day left on it, so that's gonna go even higher. So people are out there. They want Wind Waker.
But without a disc, you don't need a case. You already have a case. You have a game with a case already, so you just get the disc.
Yeah, And we could even take this logic one step further. I don't need a second copy of Wind Waker, actually, because I already have two.
You already have two. Well, there you go.
And there it is.
Then you have two for the GameCube.
No, I meant HD was the other one. No, the funny part is now we moved on to Twilight Princess, and I did actually have 2 GameCube copies of that because one of them is Nick's copy. So Cheryl is playing Twilight Princess on GameCube on my Wii, and I'm doing it on my GameCube.
Damn, why are you playing Twilight Princess?
Because Ocarina of Time is Cheryl's favorite video game, but she had never played any of the other Zelda games because she's like a like a non-gamer type person. So she's making her way through those games, and you know me, I see someone play a game and I just want to do the same thing, so I'm doing the same thing. And we're both living our best lives and having a great time. And oh, another Zelda thing that we did was we watched your DVD that you lent to me graciously of the Zelda animated show from the 80s.
Oh, how did you find it?
Oh boy, Keith. I mean, I will say, let's say it pleasantly surprised me in terms of how well it held my attention, but only because it was so much more upsetting than I expected.
Yeah, it's bad at every turn.
It's quite remarkable. People should really go watch it. Like, maybe don't pay money for it, but damn.
Right. It's bad, and it's bad in a way where it's like the best way for something to be bad, like Kylie said, is to be bad and so interesting that you can't stop watching.
Yeah, like so.
But I think for me, the Zelda anime is bad, or I guess cartoon.
Yeah, it's not even an anime.
It's not an anime; it's a cartoon. In my head, I was like, that's not a dub. This is an English
like,
show.
we did watch the sub, of course. We needed to get the original.
The Zelda cartoon is like in this perfect middle spot of bad. Sorry, I say perfect. I mean bad. Like bad. Perfect. It's not good that it's like this. Where it is sometimes so bad that it's boring, and sometimes so bad that it's interesting. So you want. Yeah. So you make yourself suffer through all of the bad, boring parts to get to the bad, interesting parts. And that is like the worst spot to be in.
Well, the great thing is the show was so bad they only made 3 hours of it, so you can just wasn't it like 4 hours, 4.5 hours? No, it's 3 hours. We spent one night watching it, and she loved it because she's one of those monsters that is like a Galactus for like terrible content, like on purpose. She's one of those.
Right. You should watch
it. It wore on my soul a lot. And so we took a break for like a week, and she finally coaxed me into watching more of it last night. But then I realized, like, oh, we only had 20 minutes left, so it's fine. Thank God.
Yeah.
But just to explain real quick, like, to me, like, the part of it that's bad is it's an 80s cartoon, which means it was just like it was a bunch of people who wrote episodes of television, and like they wrote these episodes in as long as the runtime of the episodes was. Like, they just stream of consciousness, no editing, no thought at all, just wrote these episodes. And like each one, Link is the biggest piece of shit in the world.
Yeah, he's the worst.
Like,
he loves the princess, but also he hates her and women.
Yeah,
and
so his two catchphrases. Someone handed them a copy of Zelda to some, I don't know, let's say 30 to 40 something male animators who made television for children because it didn't have to be good. And they had to make a medieval fantasy story starring a courageous hero with a pointy hat and a sword, and a magical princess and a big pig monster, whatever. And so, like, the way that they went about this is your valiant hero is an asshole whose two catchphrases are either going, "Excuse me, princess," like, fuck you, or just asking her to kiss him all the time. That's his two things, is begging for kisses and being like, fuck off. And this is your hero. So what's remarkable about the show is it's absolutely the worst incarnation of Link, but like kind of the best incarnation of Zelda, because at least she's in every episode and does things, unlike Zelda in the games. Yeah. Very, very bizarre. Very, very bizarre show. You gotta go see it. It's wild.
And if my memory serves, she hates him.
She hates him. No, except in the second to last episode, when Link loses his body, the episode, The Missing Link. Link loses his body, becomes a ghost, and Ganon is flabbergasted by this because he's like, how can Zelda still see Link? That could only be possible if Zelda was in love with Link. Bwomp, 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 bwomp. And that's when we find out that they're in love somehow. This
Right.
is
Because they have to be.
And here, the other mind-blowing part is it's not like Link is like, hey, kiss me, and she's always like, no, gross, I don't want to. She's like up for it sometimes. She'll just be like, sometimes she'll be like, yeah, okay, I will. But then when she tries, Link always like, the ground underneath Link caved in and he fell into a ravine, and Zelda just starts laughing at him. Fade to credits.
Yeah. In the episodes where he's nice, she agrees to kiss him, but he never gets to. And in the episodes where he's an asshole, she won't. She does not allow it.
Right, exactly. Oh, it's so good. My favorite part, though, is sometimes Zelda will be the one who takes charge or saves Link, and he will immediately just turn around and be like, thank you so much for saving me. As a reward, let me kiss you. And I'm like, okay, very good one, Link. That one actually was good. Very clever. Points for trying.
Have you still never seen House of the Dead?
I have still not seen House of the Dead.
God, I feel like I've been really unsuccessful in trying to get people to watch this.
Keith, I need to pee. I need to take a pee break, so keep talking about House of the Dead while I pee.
Okay. It is the single best, most watchable, most enjoyable bad movie of all time. I'm really not a watch a bad thing to make fun of it kind of person, because I find the line is so thin between so bad it's fun and so bad that it's really a draining and exhausting experience to watch. Which is why I'm surprised that more people have not taken me up on watching House of the Dead. It is the movie based on the light gun game House of the Dead.
Movie of a lifetime.
It's the movie of a lifetime. Instead of a house, and it's an island. It is accurately of the dead. It takes place on the island of the dead. There's the biggest rave of the year is being held by Sega on the island. They missed the boat and they show up late, which is good. It's because everyone there has been killed and turned into a zombie.
Yeah.
And then you have
maybe don't give it
say
away.
like 90 more minutes of some of the funniest character interaction and some of the weakest plotting of anything I've ever seen. But the acting and the budget are just good enough to like make it seem like a real movie.
Right. Yeah. That's the best.
It's really just perfect. It's just excellent.
So I do want to watch that movie someday. My normal inclination would be like, oh, we should do a Let's Watch for Run Button, but I don't know, is that like a movie that's too funny? Like, are we, you know what I mean? Like, are we not gonna be able to elevate that movie by adding our own thing to it?
I don't know. I was bringing it up as a suggestion for make your roommate watch it and your roommate will make you watch it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure.
But if you want to do a Let's Watch of it, I think you could try it.
Yeah. I had one more thing before we've been going a bit long on this podcast section. We got to get to Star Wars Squadrons in VR. This goes along with the Zelda thing. The reason I reached out to you for the Zelda animated series was ironically not because we had been playing Zelda, but because we had stumbled across the Super Mario Brothers Super Show on Netflix.
Yeah.
And every episode of that has like a sneak peek commercial for an episode of Zelda, or at least at first they did or something. Have you watched any of that at all?
The Super Mario Brothers Super Show?
Yeah.
I think I've seen a little bit of it, but not a lot. It used to play on TV, I think.
Sure. Yeah, and this is that show. That's where the idea of, I think of it, I believe that this is where the schism between people who think that Toad's head is his hat and people who think it's his head arose, because in that cartoon it was a hat.
No. Did you not hear me saying no?
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh,
I was like, no, let me say what I think, and then you'll be able to tell me which one I am.
I didn't know. I'm sorry.
It's his head. It's obviously his head.
It's obviously his head. He's a mushroom. It's the Mushroom Kingdom. His name is Toad.
He is a mushroom.
He's a toadstool.
The rest of him looks like a mushroom. Why would just the head part be a cap? It does look like a hat in this. I can see him.
That's the thing is it. I would always assume it was his head because there's never been any indication that it might be a hat other than people tend to not have mushroom heads. But once you see
people tend to not live in the mushroom kingdom.
I know. Well, I mean, even Princess Toadstool is not a mushroom person at all. So that's.
But she's princess of the toadstools.
Hey, sounds like she's a fucking colonizer, is what I have to say.
She could have been elected.
That doesn't make it better, Keith.
I mean, she's the only one. There's not a bunch of humans running around.
So why is she in charge? How does she know what's best for these mushroom folk?
I'm saying if she's elected, then they decided that. Oh my god.
She's a princess.
I mean, but if you go like, we're going to create a democracy and we're going to call our elected leader princess.
That's okay. Yeah, sure. Yeah, maybe that happened.
I mean, literally nothing about Mario
happened.
makes sense or has any reason or point to it. So there's no, I mean,
all right. Okay.
If Mario canon has a more convincing offer here, then okay, I'm willing to hear it.
Robodendron in the Twitch chat says, also in Paper Mario, toads wear hats over their mushroom cap heads. So why would you wear a hat over a hat? Yeah, no one would ever put a hat on a hat. Thank you. Though, of course, if you went to that crazy cap store in Mario Odyssey canonically has hat on hat wearing in the Mario universe. So I feel like even now this is drawn into question as well. But the Super Mario Brothers Super Show. The cartoon part of it is only one part of it, and it's interminable. It's as bad as the Zelda thing, but even worse, and with none of the shockingly bad / offensive character interactions to keep you interested. It's just snore-inducing, but
it's just bad.
So we started skipping those after like the first one. But what's really good is early on. They were bumped at the beginning and end by live action skits of Mario and Luigi. Mario played by Captain Lou Albano, the pro wrestler. I don't know who plays Luigi, unfortunately, but he's wonderful. And it's
still Johnny Leguizamo, actually.
So this is great. This is another one of these like I think it speaks to the adults making these shows just really not understanding what the fuck Mario is about. Because, you have Captain Lou Albano. He's like this big, hairy guy with a gruff voice. And, so it's like Mario and Luigi are like middle-aged and they live in Brooklyn and they run a plumbing business and they're always broke. So they're always trying to get rich or like pay their bills or whatever. And it's very
kid stuff.
It's very kid stuff. It's very funny. There's an episode where they win an appearance on the radio, and it blew my mind. Going, oh right, there was a time when people would have been excited and felt a little bit famous to get to be on the radio. Wow. Okay, forgot about that one. But yeah, so after a couple seasons, they changed it to like this. Typical 90s, like public television inspired, here's two caffeine-addled teenagers that are like yelling at you and being goofballs. And that was called Club Mario. And they had celebrity guests. They had on...
it's so funny how the ideas for what to do for kids have always been the same.
I know.
Club Mario.
Sorry, who... Joe Piscopo.
Yeah.
Joe Piscopo was a guest on the one episode of Club Mario that we watched, and he was all like, yeah, my kids always watch your show. They love it. So I guess that was a hit. And so
yeah, kids love Joe Piscopo.
Yeah, Joe, well, that's the thing, right? Kids don't give a shit about Joe Piscopo, but Joe Piscopo's kids gave a lot of a shit about the Super Mario Brothers Super Show.
You don't think that was just a lie?
I think the reason he was on the show is because his kids were like, you should go on this show.
Oh, you don't think it was because that there was that paycheck?
I don't think you're getting a lot of a paycheck from the Super Mario Brothers Super Show.
I don't think you need to. I don't think the offer needs to be that big to get Joe Piscopo.
Okay, but anyways, the live action Mario and Luigi with Lou Albano and his brother in quotes is genuinely delightful, and we loved it. We became obsessed with reading them as like an old gay couple living in Brooklyn. And it's just great. It's much better than the cartoon. It's very silly. Yeah, I think Cheryl was a little perplexed by the Club Mario thing. She was like, why would they ever stop the live action skits and do this Club Mario thing? It's so stupid. And I was like, this might be hard to believe, but little kids in the 80s might not have been as obsessed with Mario and Luigi as a middle-aged gay couple in Brooklyn as we are. They maybe just wanted boys yelling and being wacky. I don't know.
What was the club?
The club, it was the club of cool kids that would watch Mario every Saturday.
They would watch Mario.
Well, I mean,
it's not Mario's club.
Oh,
Mario's not in the club?
I mean, no. Like it wasn't fictional anymore. It was like a hey, what's up? Welcome to Club Mario. We're here to watch Mario kind of thing.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I had to get the Zelda DVD from you, but the Mario Super Show stuff, not all of it, but a lot of it is on Netflix. Go check out those skits. It's a fun time, very silly. It's my new favorite Mario and Luigi. Wonderful.
More than the movie.
Oh yeah, much more than the movie.
But the movie was great.
I love that movie. Like, okay, I mean, that's, for me, those are the two, right? Like, I'll defend both of those. They're both terrible.
Yeah. The movie has moments of being good and not terrible.
Yeah, it does. It does. And I legitimately love the bonkers, like, Blade Runner, but it's dinosaur people or whatever the fuck they were doing. Oh, it was so good. What a good, like... Yeah, like,
do
obviously...
you remember the scene with the... God, I can't remember, but there's this totally bonkers scene with the van is broken down and Luigi's, like, hitting on the girl.
Oh, and he offers her a ride and then can't because their van's broken or whatever.
Yeah, that was so funny. That was, like, genuinely hysterical.
Yeah, like, it blows my mind that people talk about that movie as if it's just like a really bad movie and not like an indelible piece of pop culture like history. And, like,
yeah, I mean, it's
so
insane.
For as big of a cultural touchstone as Mario is, people should be watching this movie all the time. Like, it shouldn't be they made a movie once, it was terrible. It should be like, hey everybody, time for our annual watching of the Super Mario Brothers movie. Yeah. I don't know.
Well, because it's like, it's often bad, it's sometimes awesome, it's occasionally, or it's funny almost the whole way through.
Yeah.
And it's bananas. Like, it's totally wild.
It's one of those movies where it's constantly making jokes. The jokes are usually funny enough, and when it's not making jokes, you're laughing at the stuff that's funny about it unintentionally.
Right, like looking at what they think a Goomba is.
Yeah. Yeah. Good stuff.
Is a Goomba mushroom a hat or its head?
That's its face. I mean, if it's the hat, I don't know where they got a hat that has their face on it.
This is part. Okay, good point. But it's like, it's already got people with mushrooms where the mushroom is their body. Why is it weird that that Toad would be the same thing?
Again, it's just a lot of people watched this cartoon when they were small children, and the cartoon was just like, hey, this is a hat. And you just go, yeah, that's a hat. You know, you're just presented with that information. You just accept it. You're like, hey,
fair.
The official Mario is telling me it's a hat. What am I to think? You know?
Official Mario.
So that's why I'm saying all those people out there that think that Toad's head is a hat, you know, it's important to remember they're very wrong, but they're there are human brothers and sisters and whatevers, and, we should love them and try to guide them towards the correct path of seeing it as a fungal outgrowth and not like
The
a
fruiting
a
body of
headwear.
a fungus.
Yeah.
I think no. If you think if you think Toad's head is a hat, fuck you. Get serious. Get serious.
Yeah, you're a fucking joke. Come on.
You're a fucking joke.
It's bonkers.
All right, we're gonna play
You're a real Looney
game?
Tune over here. We are gonna play a game, but I have to take a quick bathroom break, Keith. I'm sorry.
Didn't you just do that?
My tummy's not feeling it today.
All right.
Also, well, I have to take a longer bathroom break this time. I drank coffee. I was already not having a good morning, and then I drank a big coffee.
Can I be annoying for a minute?
I kind of feel like you're annoying all the time without asking, so why start now?
Okay. I had no, never mind. Just go to the bathroom.
Oh, okay. No, now tell me.
No. I feel like maybe you guys should take a break from being annoying.
Oh, no. But see, now you already did it. I'm already annoyed, so now just tell me why I'm annoyed.
Okay, I'll replace I'll replace what I was gonna tell you with a surprise. You want to hear a surprise?
Yep.
By what right do you exclude the population?
Ah!
A couple new soundboard
Yes.
clips here.
Good.
Let the police cut off my balls. I don't mind because it's the cops and they're always right.
Well, I mean, do you have Why Are You Closed?
By what?
I clipped it out, but I didn't put it in yet. I do have Why Are You Closed
You
though.
can't.
But
I mean,
yep,
that's
the other one that I put in here.
And that's how it starts, you know.
It's got the fucking gotcha crank in it.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
God! See, why didn't you just play that when we were trying to explain what gotcha is? You fucked up. You super fucked up.
I totally forgot. I totally forgot. That's why.
All right, give us one more and we'll go to break. Hello?
Hi.
What? Did you cut
Oh,
out just
give
now?
us one more. Oh, that's it. I just played you the 3 that I have.
No, I mean, give us another. That's how it starts,
And that's how it starts, you know.
volume on that.
And we're back. It's a bit quiet. It's a little quiet. Hey,
I
everybody.
just boosted it, but I guess I could boost it some more. Oh, maybe I didn't sync
Well,
it.
you know, it's not. You know what? I don't think it's too. Don't worry about it. It's good.
Okay.
So we're here. I'm in the. I don't. Okay, you can't tell yet, but I'm in the PSVR. I have the headset on. Here's a game I forgot to mention I've been playing was they put out a Linkin Park pack for Beat Saber, and I've been going ham on that.
Yeah, you've been digging the Linkin Park?
Yeah, you know, I'm a big Linkin Park fan.
You're a Linkin Park cat from way back.
I'm a Linkin Park jerk-off from way back. And the thing is, you know me, I'm going to get all persnickety about their song choices. The thing I liked was they picked like 10 songs, which is a lot of songs. And it was only like $13 or something. And the note paths are really good. Oh no, it's me.
Wait, the note paths are what?
I wasn't prepared to be on camera. That wasn't fair. I was not done up at all. How dare you, PSVR?
You know how the PSVR do.
I know how it do, and I didn't think about it.
You didn't break any terms of service, did you?
Yeah, what are the terms of service?
Don't be naked.
No, thank God, no. Oh, the Twitch terms of service. Okay, got it. So here we are in Star Wars Squadrons.
Ooh, would love it if you had already shared screens with me.
Ooh, that would have been such a great idea for me to do. High CPU usage detected. Something, something, something. Hey, you know what would be really good is, let's hope I can even share this with you.
I can see it. I mean, I can see it on Twitch. That's working there. It's a little janky, though.
It's a little janky. What's janky about it?
Just kind of framey.
I bet I need a higher bit rate. I think I need a higher bit rate.
No. If anything, you need a lower bit rate.
Oh, good point. Maybe I need a lower bit rate.
I don't think it's
what?
the game. I think it's just that you keep looking away from the screen and like the PSVR is not. It doesn't understand when you try and look away from the screen.
Yeah, it could be that. Screen, whole screen. Share it. I'm gonna share it with you. Share it. I'm sharing. It's been shared. And you know, I think.
Ooh, that sure doesn't look shared. Oh wait. I've been disconnected. Sit tight. We're patching you back in.
Extremely cool. Hey, you know what? I think we're gonna probably take the stream down on one of the two where we're streaming.
Yeah. How about we'll take down the YouTube, and everyone on YouTube go to twitch.tv.
Yeah, everyone on YouTube,
or
please go to twitch.tv because I'm not even sure if the YouTube one is even working right at this moment for some reason because it says 0 viewers. That sounds wrong, but please just hop right on over to twitch.tv/runbutton.